Yeah, one last clip. I don't know if it's my memories going or something, but I remember once I was watching it, and there was this fireworks scene when he's walking across this log. I thought, geez, I don't think I've seen him walk across that log before, and a great big fireworks scene. I mean, the fireworks scene could have been put in there, it could have been put in there years later or something. But I know there's problems at the cinema. I mean, we were down here in before it was called, before it was Southern Abbotland, pre-King John Howard days, back when it first came out. And you couldn't even see the bloody creature on the screen because, it was all these acetate copies. Oh, I think it was a big con going down on here, actually. They send it down, and I think this acetate thing was their way of making negatives or something, They could only afford to buy the one master thing, and they just make these acetate copies. So only one cinema in Australia actually got to see it the way the Americans got to see it, or something like that. I don't know. Everyone else got to see this grainy acetate things. So it was crap for normal movies, but for things like The Predator, you couldn't even see what they're saying, well, what monster, And until he actually revealed himself at the end, you didn't even know. You were just looking at foliage, basically, thinking, what? Is there something there? I can't see anything, Of course, so half the story goes, because you're thinking, well, they're spending minutes looking at something, or trying to look at something, and it just looks like bloody jungle, forest area or something, Can't see any definition whatsoever. Couldn't even see any movement. So if it was jumping from one tree to the next, you didn't even know. Oh, okay. I think that was the insult that added to injury when George Lucas wanted to go down the history books as the last person to ever use acetate for episode 3. So, as I said before, I had these lovely experiences with episode 1 and 2 in the new sort of DVD quality before we knew what DVD quality was. But of course, episode 1 happened to stumble into Mount Gambier on the opening night, and everyone were walking to, let's go and see a movie sort of thing, walking towards the cinema, and everyone's there walking there in their tuxedos, and we think, oh Jesus, we're just in our standard, holiday clothes, Anyway, the whole back wall of Cinema 1 was the screen, and it was amazing. When they talk about a jaw-dropping experience, I've told this story at least once before, maybe twice, I don't know. That was the first time I've ever had a jaw drop. I actually physically stood up and my jaw dropped. So I stood up as my jaw dropped. So, I stood up from a seat when that spaceship blew up on the back wall of Cinema 1 down at Mount Gambier. That was just amazing. So I was spoilt there. Then I saw the same sort of quality, but on a smaller screen in town for episode 2. And all that sort of jumping about from little shuttle vessels, all that lovely neon signage. That was fantastic, I thought, And, yeah, so when it comes to episode 3, and I didn't even know that the missiles had barbs on them because it was out of focus left, right and down the bottom. And I went to see it three times, and it was still out of focus. We were all using these bloody acetate copies sort of thing. And so I was very disappointed. But we're coming to the end of this thing. 14 seconds on the card. Time to walk out, I reckon. Okay. Over and out. I'll see you, I think.